Yeah, man, there's your boy Chico Black. This video right here, I used to do this when I first came out on YouTube. Before YouTube even had where you can go live and all that good stuff. First, let me go ahead and welcome my intro. Thank you. It's my brand new intro. You know what I'm saying? But let's go with my what the fuck Chico Black video. Please sub, like, and share. That's up to you. Thank y'all to everybody. I appreciate it. Appreciate the love for listening, supporting me, and having my back. Hello, everyone. This video right here has a lot to do with P.Diddy being involved in the Tupac murder. I seen a young lady's video, and I commented her, big ups to her, you know what I'm saying? I got her channel here in this video. So when y'all see it, y'all go ahead and subscribe to her channel. Great contact, you know what I'm saying? And she's giving it to you blood raw, and most importantly, she's giving you nothing but facts, nothing fake. So please, let's get it, and let's get dangerous. Let's get ready to motherfucking rumble. And more than anything, always put God first in everything you do. Please like, subscribe, and let's get ready for the countdown. We all know that P. Diddy was so much involved in Tupac's murder, just like in Biggie's murder. You feel me? And this is the young lady's channel. Y'all go ahead, subscribe. She has great contact, you know what I'm saying? Let's get them subscribe numbers up. You feel me? And I wanted to go ahead and do a video because I told her I was going to do a video. She said, when? I told her tonight. And she talks about P.Diddy and how P. Diddy is so much involved, you know what I'm saying, in the Tupac murder because of what 50 did in the documentary, you know, about P. Diddy and P. Diddy being mad because of it. I have a history with this. I used to have a big YouTube channel talking about just the specific of this, of P. Diddy being involved in Tupac's murder, and they canceled my channel. They deleted it multiple times. But this is P.Diddy. This is the man that Puff Daddy invited. They met at a restaurant, I believe it was in California, and he told P.Diddy, listen, if you take out Tupac, and if you take out Big, I'll give you $1 million. Half now, half later. P.Diddy never received any payment at all. So, allegedly, he committed them 2 hits, and he never got paid for it. That's why he decided to come out with his story, and that's why he wrote the book. You know what I'm saying? Because P. Diddy never paid him. And another thing, P. Diddy is the godfather to P.Diddy's oldest daughter, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's facts. It's in the system. He is the godfather to his daughter. But let me read. Dwayne P.Diddy Davis is a former Southside Crip gang leader who has been charged with first-degree murder of rapper Tupac Shakur in 1996. He is the only living suspect from the vehicle from which the fatal shots were fired and is currently awaiting trial, which has been delayed until August 10th, 2026. And guess what? He's not going to jail at all. He's not going to face no time at all. It's already been said. He's not doing no time at all. Which is so much bullshit, because Tupac's family has been looking for fucking justice for so long, and they're not gonna get it. Because so many people within the government are involved with Tupac and Biggie shooting that they don't want to put this man in prison, because if they do, this man's gonna open a whoop ass of fucking snitching and exposing multiple government officials. Reality. Key details. Arrest. Davis was arrested in Las Vegas in September 2023, nearly 3 decades after the shooting. Charge. He faces 1 count of murder with a deadly weapon with a sentencing enhancement for alleged gang activity. Plea. Incarceration. Davis has pleaded not guilty and is being held without bail at the Clark County Detention Center I don't know what jail, but he's in the Clark, which I believe is Las Vegas or California, one of them 2 places. But in a 2019 memoir, Compton Street legend, and in various interviews, Davis admitted to being in the car during the shooting and providing the gun. Yeah, he's the one that allegedly passed the gun to Orlando. Though he claims he's now deceased nephew, Orlando Anderson, which is the one that Tupac fought in the casino because of the stolen chain that one of the death row inmates accused Orlando Anderson of taking, was the actual shooter. Since his arrest, he has insisted on his innocence, claiming his previous admissions were for entertainment purposes only. Bullshit. Trial status. The trial has been postponed multiple times to allow his defense team time to review the voluminous evidence. The latest date is set for August 10, 2026. And y'all know what they do. Y'all know why they're doing that, right? Because they are letting him know, bruh, if you talk, if you say everybody that was involved in Tupac's murder, you and your family are going next. That's facts. Y'all better believe that shit. Other legal issues. While in jail awaiting his murder trial, Davis was found guilty of battery by prisoner and challenges to fight for a jailhouse altercation and sentenced to 16 to 40 months. So he already picked up a charge being in prison. Or not prison, but in jail in the county. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going anywhere no time soon. And believe me when I tell you, this is just another form of them trying to stop him. Or they're going to try to do something to him like they did to Epstein. Shut him up before he can have the chance and opportunity to go to court and trial and talk. Trust me, believe me what I'm telling you. Look what they did to Epstein. And they're going to try to do the same thing with him. You see, when P.Diddy met up with P.Diddy already, from the claims of P.Diddy ex-bodyguard, oh my God, what's his name? Gene. Yeah, Gene Deal. Big ups to Gene Deal. I love his YouTube channel. That's my dog right there. But he heard P.Diddy they were in an event and Diddy was going up the stairs to go to the event, and P.Diddy was so upset because he saw Tupac and Suge Knight from a distance. And when he saw them, he took off running and left Gene Deal like, Gene Deal was like, what the fuck? Did this man just took off running? And as Gene Deal is walking to meet up with him, he overheard Puff Daddy say, I don't care if Big gotta die, I don't care if Pac gotta die, but something's gonna happen and I'm gonna make it happen. Facts. If y'all don't believe me, go to Gene Deal's channel and ask him. He'll confirm it because he's the one that said it. And he said it years ago. But big ups to Gene Deal. And this is the thing. P.Diddy expected payment, the first half of the payment right there when the deal was agreed. But P.Diddy fooled P.Diddy into believing once you make that first hit, I'll go ahead and give you that. You understand what I'm saying? But I have to see you first, you know what I'm saying, pull that first hit, and then we'll go from there. And as time went on, you know, Tupac already being dead or whatever, And then Orlando Anderson being shot by the police because the police was investigating Orlando Anderson for other various crimes. And when they bumped into him, he decided to go all out, do or die, and went through gunfire with the police and ended up getting killed. That's how Orlando Anderson got killed, by the police. And multiple times, Keefe D tried to reach out to Puff Daddy, but Puff Daddy kept on making excuses. Nah, I don't know what's going on. Man, I'm having trouble. Man, these people watching me. I can't be seen with you right now. And then Keefe D said to himself, this motherfucker took advantage of me because he's the godfather of my daughter. I'm talking about actual godfather for real. And Keefe D started putting two and two together and saw that P. Diddy used him and manipulated him because P. Diddy was so afraid of Suge Knight. And y'all can go ahead and keep reading, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can go ahead and keep reading this. I just put that there so clarification, and for people that don't understand the narrative of the story and how all these people connect to Tupac and Biggie's murder, especially Tupac's murder, because they wanted Tupac out. I'm talking about from the California justice system, the New York justice system, the Las Vegas justice system, and everybody that had beef with Tupac. And I'm talking about directly from P. Diddy and the Crips, Orlando Anderson, and so many others. But there's also two other individuals that are here in this video that I put that had every type of connection when it came to setting up Tupac. And they were within the death row camp. Both of these individuals, they were connected to Suge Knight. That's why a lot of people say that they believe also that Suge Knight had a plot, or, you know what I'm saying, he had something to do with the murder because these two individuals that set Tupac up, along with the others, were from the death row camp themselves. But Tupac was at the Mike Tyson fight, and Suge Knight was on parole at that time. And Tupac, before the fight, Tupac was giving his chains, giving money away, telling, Gaddafi and Idi Amin and all them, boy, Castro and all them, man, I love y'all. He was giving them hugs and everything. And the outlaws were like, what the fuck is going on? Why is Tupac doing this? Tupac ain't said nothing to nobody. He just wanted to take pictures. Like, he didn't want nobody to know that he already knew that something was about to pop off. And Snoop Dogg refused to go to the fight because he himself already plotted with Keefe D, Puff Daddy. I'm going to say allegedly when it comes to Snoop Dogg, because I don't want to go ahead and get fucked. That's just like I told the young lady in the comment. You have to be careful because these people will threaten you, will call your phone, will delete your channel, and they will follow you. So you have to be very careful. This ain't no bullshit. Trust me, I went through it. And Snoop Dogg in California decided to go to Warren G's house and watch the fight from there. And he had a walkie-talkie, a Nextel walkie-talkie when they first came out. Only securities that were within the fight, that were, being security for the whole fight, had them walkie-talkies. Why would Snoop Dogg have that walkie-talkie for? Now, there's this guy that y'all gonna see here in the thumbnail. His name is Reggie White Jr. Right now, he's paralyzed. He shits on his own diapers. I don't give a fuck about that dude. But he was the main head of security for Death Row Records. Reggie White Jr. and his father, there were Sheriff's Police Department officers from the Compton Police Department. But when they were off duty, they would do security for Death Row. Tupac did not trust him. He hated this dude. But for some reason, that's Orlando Anderson, y'all, right there. That's the one that was accused of pulling the trigger on the back of the seat where he was at and shot Tupac up. That's him right there. But as I was saying, what was I? Reggie White. So Reggie White decided to tell security that were with him. Suge Knight said by order that nobody is going to carry guns tonight. And the reason why, because after the fight and the situation with Orlando Anderson, they decided to go to Suge Knight's club. And as Tupac is riding with Suge Knight in the BMW and they headed towards the club, Suge Knight's lawyer that's in this thumbnail, and also Reggie White and a couple of others, and Snoop Dogg had the same walkie-talkie. The Nextel walkie-talkie. So 2 of the 3 security guards were like, hold on. Suge Knight never gave us word that we can't carry no guns. No, we need our guns. We're protecting Tupac. We are Suge Knight's and Suge Knight security. Why would Suge Knight give you that order? Nah, he told me to tell y'all this. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't want for y'all to go in the club and then y'all be searched and, police is going to be out there. So, you know what I'm saying? He don't want the scuffle with the police and police being able to search y'all and find guns on y'all. And Suge Knight, what's his name? 3 other security guards of Death Row were like, this shit don't make no sense. But then out of nowhere, a white Cadillac DeVille, I believe so, parked right aside at the light from Tupac and Suge Knight. A gun comes out, 5 to 7 shots let out. Bum, 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 bum. As soon as the hit was done, that the car takes off, Suge Knight tried to, follow the car, but they managed to escape. And one of the security guards heard on the radio, on the walkie-talkie radios, we got him, we got him. And when the security guard heard the voice, he said, oh shit, that sounds like Suge Knight's lawyer. What the fuck is going on? All this shit is based on a true story. I can do y'all research, because I did my fucking research. I've been knowing this shit for decades. So the security guard, started saying to himself, was Tupac set up by our own camp? And as time went on, security guards that were there that night started disappearing, started dying as being murdered. 3 of them, then 4, then 5. They were all shot and killed or assassinated. And Reggie White Jr. was the only one that was left alive that night that Suge Knight and Tupac and and Death Row and the Outlaws, when they jumped Orlando Anderson, they were spotted on camera, and Suge Knight violated his parole. They caught him and they gave him 9 years in prison. While Suge Knight was in prison, Reggie White Jr. decided that since Suge Knight was in prison, he wasn't going to come out for a while, for a couple years. Suge Knight did the dumb mistake move by trusting him and decided to give him, I believe it was $300,000. You know what I'm saying? To go ahead and buy some properties or take care of some properties, whatever the case may be. But Reggie White Jr. grabbed that and told Suge Knight's ex-lawyer, the one that is connected with Tupac's murder, you know what I'm saying? He was accused for a lot of shit, but never ended up going to prison. He gained access to Suge Knight's accounts, royalty money, his yachts, his mansions, the money that Suge Knight gave him to, I guess, to pay, like I said, to pay the houses or to buy more, you know what I'm saying, properties or whatever. He kept that money. And for years, he lived off Suge Knight's money, which he's still living off of it. That's why he got that nice house that he has. You know what I'm saying? People told Suge Knight, evidence and proof, that he would do parties with other police officers and other people in his mansions, in his yachts and shit. Like he owned the shit. And one of his properties, he was able to get his ex-lawyer to go ahead and put it under Reggie White Jr.'s name. So Suge Knight lost more by trusting this bastard than by not trusting him at all. And that's why Suge Knight is so broke right now. You know what I'm saying? But he got people that look out for him and everything. Because remember, Suge Knight and Death Row was the most paid record label at the time in the history of hip-hop. It was worth almost $500 million. Let's just call it for what it is. But Reggie White grabbed all his assets. As a matter of fact, this is Reggie White right here, y'all. This is the man. He can't even get up no more. He wears diapers. He wears Pampers now. He shits on himself. His wife and others, I guess, they help him and shit. But this is what you get when you fucking play dirty. And especially being a crooked fucking cop. This dude is the most crookedest cop. Along with his father. I think he did what? About a year or two in prison only? His father, I think he did some time too. But now they big, streamers. They know they got a big channel. They come out in mainstream platforms. Like DJ Vlad and others. You know what I mean? And Tupac's family and Biggie's family never got justice. This dude is the main connect, along with P.Diddy, along with P.Diddy, along with Orlando Anderson and other government officials that had Tupac killed, and Biggie also. And also the police officer that was investigating Biggie's murder. Biggie's mom trusted this police officer so much because he knew that the LAPD was so dirty and so crooked, and he was finding every evidence of so many officers that were connected with Biggie's murder, that one day some of the officers allegedly called him into a meeting to talk about the Biggie's murder, and supposedly he had a stroke or he had a panic attack or something. He dropped and he died. And they closed the case and it was never brought up again. And I must admit, I don't like police. I hate police. But this was a legitimate police officer. He used to leave from California to go visit Biggie's mom all the way in New Jersey or New York where she stayed, to give her information, let her know what's going on, let her know every evidence of vivid detail he had, everything. And the LAPD was watching his every move. Put it like this, it got to the point that they fired him from the Los Angeles Police Department because they saw that he was getting too close. And once they were able to fool him and trick him to come into that meeting, he was never heard of again. Condolences to his wife and his family, because he was a legitimate police officer. He was probably the only legit police officer in the Los Angeles Police Department at the time. Everybody else was crooked as fuck. But all these people are connected. And P. Diddy was the one that put it all together. Remember, Tupac was a motivational speaker. He was the offspring of the Black Panthers. He spoke in congregations. He spoke in many commissioner meetings. And he also was, becoming a candidate because he wanted to become the mayor of Atlanta. And Suge Knight was helping him along with the Black Panther Party. And them people said, no, hell no. This dude is too powerful. We gotta shut this dude down. And that's exactly what they did. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Tupac wanted to become a mayor in Atlanta, and he was close. That's how powerful Tupac was. But he was taken out because of his background. Remember, his mother, God bless her soul, she, Afeni Shakur, was a big member of the Black Panther Party. Assata Shakur, who just died in Cuba a couple of months ago, where I got family at, because I'm half Cuban myself. And I know she was there because my family saw her working with the Cuban government. She was almost set up with the government, you know what I'm saying, here in the United States, and they wanted to kill her like they killed her comrades, but before she went to trial, she was able to escape and left to Cuba, to exile in Cuba. That's why they wanted Tupac there. That's why you got the FBI, you know what I'm saying, as in COINTELPRO. Those are the organization within the FBI and CIA that destroyed the Black Panther, the Black Party, the Black Party Liberation, and etc., etc. So you see, there's so much shit and so much deep secrets within the Tupac and Biggie murder. But also, there's more questions than answers that we have received in the past 3.5 decades. And we will never actually know who really was behind, with P.Diddy, Kiffy D, and Orlando Anderson, and Reggie White Jr., and, Suge Knight's lawyer, and several others. We will never know who was the one, the powerful elites that we don't see, that also have very much to do with the assassination of Tupac Shakur. That's why I'm doing this video, and you know what? We will never know. And Tupac's family will never, Biggie's family will never have justice. When they were going to come out with Biggie and Tupac movie in California, I believe this was in 2020, something like that. It was Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker. That were going to do the movie. And a week before the movie came out, they threatened the director, the producers, Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker, and say, if that movie comes out, all your lives is in danger. And guess what? They canceled the movie, and the movie never came out, based on a true story. So you see, this is bigger, and it will always be, because in reality, the government does not want us to know who was really behind. So, of course they're going to point the finger at Kiffy D. Of course they're going to point the finger at Puff Daddy, which they had everything to do with it. But you know what? To be able to pull the plug, you need somebody bigger than them. And the government hated Tupac. They hated Tupac's family. Tupac, ever since he was a kid, he saw his family go through so much police brutality, killings. I mean, he saw everything that a child would not want to see. And Tupac, at a very young age as well, was a victim of police brutality, of being set up, of being arrested. That's what happened to his step-old boy. Not his real old boy. I'm talking about Matula Shakur. Matula Shakur was Tupac's stepfather, and he basically raised Tupac. And He was convicted of a murder that he never committed. Why? Because he owned the clinic and he was helping the youth, the community. You know what I'm saying? He was established as an entrepreneur. And guess what? They took this man's life for 30-something years. But on his 28th year being in prison, the judge brought him to court and say, sir, we are so sorry. We know you didn't commit this crime. You're innocent. You're good to go. You know they kept him in there almost 6 more years? He got out. Almost, I say about 30-something to 40-year sentence. Not even a couple of months later, he passed away. He couldn't even enjoy his freedom. And they were also charging him with other charges and for helping Tupac's godmother, Assassination, for escaping, jail and all that other shit. It's very complicated when it comes to Tupac's murder. But you don't got to be a rocket scientist to know that the government had a big, big role when it comes to Tupac and Biggie's murder. So, put 2 and 2 together. How many other people, besides everybody that I mentioned, wasn't involved, that had every significant of an agenda and propaganda to take out Mr. Tupac Shakur? And this is Suge Knight's lawyer. He played the major role to destroying and fucking up Suge Knight financially with his properties, his book deals, his contracts, you name it. Why? Because him and Reggie White Jr. decided to get together and destroy this man's life. So you see, Tupac in all his songs, he talked about crooked police, crooked lawyers, crooked federal officials, you know what I'm saying, state officials. They wanted Tupac dead. They didn't kill Tupac because of the so-called East Coast and West Coast beef. That's bullshit. That was just a distraction to make you think that. And Snoop Dogg had a major role because Snoop Dogg got that call through the walkie-talkie. Why the fuck would you have a walkie-talkie and you are in California? You're not in Las Vegas. And back then, them walkie-talkies, the Nextels, they had the walkie-talkies on the side. Them phones were raw as fuck when they first came out. Them phones were bad as hell, I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? So, for anybody to think, and then he lies, how he went to the hospital, how, he talked to Tupac's mother, how he went up to him, and he was like, man, I love you, man, because Tupac didn't like Snoop Dogg after he heard him in an Angie Martinez interview saying that he was down with Biggie and, Puff Daddy and that he wanted to do music with them. But those are the same motherfuckers in the Quad Studios when Tupac got shot that were there. So Tupac knew that they set him up. And when Snoop Dogg and the Dogg Pound were at New York, doing the video, New York, they shot at motherfucking Snoop Dogg's trailer. And then for him to say that, Tupac was like, damn, dog, you telling me why am I getting into your business and these are the same niggas that did me dirty? And I'm riding for the West Coast and you want to do that to me? Nigga, I'm putting my life on the line for you and this is what you do to me? So Snoop Dogg in the jet, before going to the Mike Tyson fight, Suge Knight and Tupac told him, man, we don't want to hear all that shit, nigga. So guess what? Snoop Dogg went all the way to the private jet in the back and he grabbed the knife and the fork and slept his way till they got to California, I think it was. And Snoop Dogg asked him again, yo, are you going to the Mike Tyson fight? And Tupac looked at him and brushed his hand like saying, man, fuck you, nigga. You down with them niggas, dog, that fucking set me up. Them niggas almost killed me. They almost killed you. And you want to be down with these niggas? Nigga, fuck you. And guess what? Snoop Dogg was jealous of Tupac because Tupac took over Death Row. He took over Death Row. Suge Knight, all he cared about was Tupac because Tupac was making death row, millions and millions. I mean, went fucking 7-time platinum or almost diamond with All Eyes on Me and all the other, singles that he did. How Do You Want It, California Love, and so many songs. And Tupac wrote so many songs before he passed because he knew that he was gonna die. Tupac had a death wish. He knew he was gonna die. And shamefully, he died at 25 years old. But it's crazy because it was Snoop Dogg that told Suge Knight, go get Tupac out of jail in New York in prison when they convicted him for that fake ass rape charge. It was Snoop Dogg that told Suge Knight, man, get Tupac out, man. Bring fam to the crib. Bring cuz to the crib. And Tupac went to prison for a woman that literally in a club pulled down his pants and sucked his dick in the middle of the club in front of everybody. Tupac left her in the hotel. You know what I'm saying? He made sure she was straight and everything, and he left the room. When he left the room, he went to his room. When he woke up the next morning, went down to the elevator to go to the first floor, police were already waiting for him. It was a setup. And she sat there in that fucking interview and lied. And guess what? New York ain't even back him up. A couple weeks later, he gets shot the fuck up in a quad studio. So, you see, Tupac knew he was gonna die. Tupac knew he wasn't going to live long. That's why he did so many songs. While the Dog Pound and everybody at Death Row would do 1 song or 2 songs out of the week, Tupac was doing 10 to 20 songs in a day. Facts. And the reason why I'm talking this passionate, because Tupac is my GOAT. To me, Tupac was the greatest rapper and will always be the greatest rapper alive, or even in heaven, because he lived everything he rapped about. And P.Diddy knew exactly how he will get the job done. Gang related. Don't make it seem like it's something political. Don't make it seem like it's gang natured. Don't make it seem like it's, like a Cointempro and a Black Panther type of crime scenery. Let's make it gang related. Let's fool everybody into thinking it's an East Coast or West Coast beef. Y'all don't remember when Pac got shot? I said about a week or 2 weeks later, Snoop Dogg and P.Diddy came out in the Steve Harvey show. Remember Steve Harvey played the principal? I used to love that show. Now I can't stand. Damn, you see, I can't even, the words don't even come out right. Steve Harvey. I used to love that show. Now I can't stand him. I can't stand him. That man sold his daughter to P. Diddy. First she went to P. Diddy's son, and then he sold it to P. Diddy. I can't stand that dude for shit. Don't ask me how I know all this shit, I just know. And they were like, man, we ain't got no beef, man. There ain't no East Coast or West Coast beef. From that moment on, when I heard both of the motherfuckers say that, I knew they set Pac up. And Biggie. I knew it. I knew it. Why the fuck would you say something like that when you and him in plenty of interviews talked about that we need to stop this East Coast and West Coast beef? Exactly my point, y'all. Not only that, it's just so much more that we will never know. That's why I always said there's more questions than answers, and the answers will never be known. But there's so much more to the story. I'm only giving you the one-fifth of the iceberg. There's so much that pertains to this, and we will never know. And it's a shame because we lost the greatest rapper of all time, but we also lost the second greatest rapper of all time. And all because they distracted the fact. And I wanted to say this, I forgot. The reason why Tupac also had beef is because when Tupac was in New York, in the prison, people were coming up to him and saying, yo, you're not hearing in the radio? You didn't hear that song, Who Shot You? You didn't hear that they set your ass up? And then Tupac saw 2 or 3 videos because remember, they stole Tupac's jewelry. $40,000 worth of jewelry. And Tupac saw Biggie wearing his 5-star chain, which I'm not even going to say that because that ain't none of my business. And then he saw that he was wearing his chain with the cross. So when Tupac asked him, yo, who robbed me, dog? Who the fuck robbed me? Tupac thought that Biggie was his homeboy. And Biggie said, nah, dog, I can't tell you who did it, dog, because I can't snitch. I can't do nobody like that. Damn, nigga, it was Tupac that gave you the chance to shine. Tupac used to stop his shows and concerts and give you the microphone so you can shine. He even let you sleep in his couch. Remember, hit him up? Biggie, remember when I used to let you sleep in my couch to beg your bitch to let you sleep in the house? Ha! Now it's all about Versace. You copied my style, 5 shots couldn't drop me. You took me to spine, now I'm about to set the record straight. When my can't still a thug that you love to hate, motherfuckers, I hit them up. Remember that shit? So basically, that's the biggest reason why Pac had beef with Biggie. Because Biggie knew who set him up, and then on top of that, you are wearing my fucking ring in a video and my necklace? And then on top of that, you're protecting the motherfuckers that also wanted to rob you. Because them same niggas wanted to rob Big. But guess what? Pac saved Big from getting robbed from them people before he did. And that was months apart from the altercation. And Pac only had beef with Biggie. He didn't have beef with New York. He didn't have beef with Cool J. He didn't have beef with the Fugees. He didn't have beef with Mobb Deep. He didn't have beef with nobody. But since they had their opinions, and since they started talking shit about Tupac, Tupac started dissing everyone from New York. Everyone. But he still had love for New York. You know why I know he had love for New York? Because he and Suge Knight were planning on coming out with Death Row, with East Coast Death Row. Redman was gonna join, Method Man was gonna join, and a couple of other East Coast rappers were gonna join. And guess who was the first rapper that was being signed into the East Coast Death Row? Guess who? Mr. Craig Mack. Remember the song? Yeah, what was the name of the song? Who kicking brand new flavor in your ear? The brand new flavor in your ear. I'm kicking that flavor in your ear. Yeah, nigga, that flavor in your ear. They were gonna sign him first. But guess what? It never happened. And the reason why it never happened, because P.Diddy found out. He dropped him from the record label. He took all his royalties. He stole this money. And guess what? When Craig Mack, I think it was 20 years later, he was going to tell his story. He went to church and he confessed to a lot. When he was going to come out in the main interview, he disappeared. And for some sort of reason, they say he died of AIDS. The fuck out of here, man. So you see, there's so much questions with no answers. Look what happened to Black Rob. Y'all remember Black Rob? Like, whoa. My stroke, my flow, my clothes, my dough, like, whoa. He was gonna talk too. Why? Because P. Diddy did the same thing to him too. When he was gonna have that big interview, guess what? He disappeared. Kim Porter, his wife, his baby mama, did a book about all the secrets of P. Diddy. What happened when she was gonna expose it? She disappeared. Come on, bro. Nobody can't tell me shit. I've been doing this for so long, but I stopped doing it because, hey, these people do watch you. These people do keep an eye on you. These people will take you out if it's necessary. So I'ma just say this. 50 Cent is not wrong for what he doing. And I hope he keeps his fucking foot on this, in his neck. Because in reality, the victims that he did this to, Tupac's family, Biggie's family, and so many families deserve the justice that they've never gotten from the government itself. This is your boy Chico Black. Y'all leave y'all comments down below. Y'all let me know what it is. We'll go from there. God bless to Tupac. That's my GOAT. Will forever be my GOAT. God bless to Biggie. You know what I'm saying? God bless to the outlaws as well that were murdered and that disappeared. Rest in peace to Afeni Shakur. Rest in peace to Assata Shakur. Rest in peace to all the Black Panthers. Rest in peace to Malcolm X. Rest in peace to Dr. King. Rest in peace to all the activists and motivational speakers that have been murdered and assassinated by the government for fighting for their civil rights. Y'all go ahead and hit me up and let me know. Chico Black, peace.